But there will be a point where if you feel you want to ask questions to our wonderful speakers and you don't wish that segment to be recorded, just please let me know, because ultimately this is for you, right? This is for you and not for those who may be hearing later, right? My prime focus is to serve all of you, and Prabhuji Mataji are here. Their focus is to serve all of you who are here. So without any further delay, I want to take the opportunity to introduce His Grace Yamuna Jivan Prabhu and Her Grace Sri Radhika Mataji from Naperville, ISKCON Naperville congregation. They are, a lot can be said about them. They are so amazing devotees. And I got more of their association in the last few months when I was enrolled in a course about nonviolent communication. And how these wonderful devotees, Prabhuji and Mataji, are not only teaching nonviolent communication, but they are walking examples of that. So in the Bhagavad Gita, as Arjuna asked, how does a great person speak, or in short, communicate? So it's very, very important, unless you are living under a rock, as Vishishka Prabhu says. Communication is so important segment of our life, whether we are 10 years, whether we are 15, 18, in school or college. It's very, very important. Give a thumbs up if you think communication is critical in your life, right? How many of you think there is room for improvement about communication, right? So, so we have His Grace Yamuna Jivan Prabhu and Sri Radhika Mataji, who are going to share about nonviolent communication. The topic of today's session is building bridges, and this communication workshop, especially for the young change makers, young leaders like all of you. So thank you to all of you who have joined. Let's welcome Prabhuji and Mataji by chanting 3 times Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. I know many of you are muted. You can at least give us some emoji or some reaction to welcome them so they feel at home. Are you able to unmute yourself? So now I'll pass on to Prabhuji and Mataji. And everyone, please feel free to engage, feel free to pause wherever required, feel free to ask question, right? This is a very interactive workshop. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hi, Krishna, everyone. So nice to be with all of you. Thank you for having us and hosting us, Shubhulas Govinda Prabhu. He said a lot of nice things about us, but I think we have a long way to go ourselves. So, um, in any case, nice to see all of you, especially Nimai. Do you know Nimai? Good to see you, Nimai. Nimu, as he's affectionately called. In any case, I'm going to recite the invocation prayers and then where we launch from in the Bhagavad Gita, all right? Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaiva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So we're going to kick off from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15. Um, Thank you, Radhika. Our so our title is Building Bridges, Nonviolent Communication Workshop for Young Changemakers. So we will see. We're going to use a very modern way, or we're going to share with you a modern methodology of communicating, which is based on, actually, we'll see here in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, text 15, where Krishna is explaining. In the previous verse, he explains the austerity of body. This verse, he's explaining the austerity of speech. And in the next verse, he explains austerity of mind. Here in chapter 17, text 15, it goes like this. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat swadhyaya bhyasanam chaiva vanmayam uptapa uchate. Austerity of speech consists in speaking words that are truthful, pleasing, beneficial, and not agitating to others, and also in regularly reciting Vedic literature. So this point about Satyam, Priyam, and Hitam. You see the second line? It says Satyam, Priyam, and Hitam. That's all about nonviolent communication. Satyam, being truthful, honest, clear, making observations. Priyam, speaking with a lot of affection. And Hitam, for the well-being of another person, not agitating to others. So that, in essence, is nonviolent communication. So, Shalika, you want to take over?
So I don't know about you all, but something that was my finding in practicing Krishna consciousness, for many years was I'll be chanting my japa and I'll be hearing, and then all of a sudden somebody will say something and everything goes out the window, all the mode of goodness thoughts and all of that. And I'll be, fighting back or screaming or like, blaming back and using words that are like, where's this coming from? And it was an oft repeating phenomena. It would happen over and over again where I would lose all my Krishna consciousness in that one moment of reacting. Do any of you have a similar experience? Yeah, I see a few heads nodding. Okay, okay. So we can somewhat relate. So then in 2018, my husband and I went to a retreat in Gita Nagari. Have any of you been to Gita Nagari before? Yeah.
Oh,
Ishan!
Ishan's there. Look at
We know
that.
Ishan. He's
Yeah.
been in Hare Krishna, Bita. He's been in a couple of our camps at Gita Nagari. So, and of course, Nimai has been to Gita Nagari, and I saw a few other people have been to Gita Nagari. So we went in 2018 and we met His Holiness Bir Krishna Maharaj. Do any of you know who that is? Bir Krishna Maharaj? Have you ever met him? You must. He's just fantastic, and he relates to you like he's one of you. He plays soccer with my kids, and he's in his 70s. He's 76 almost.
He plays
So
guitar at Mangalarti with Nashingadev prayers. He plays guitar. It's really cool.
he's what you call a cool Swami. So Bir Krishna Maharaj was doing a seminar on nonviolent communication, or what he calls empathic communication, and we felt like this was the lost key, like there's a lock and there's the key that opens the lock. It was like, this is it. This is what is that missing link, that piece of the puzzle to apply our Krishna consciousness in our everyday life. So we got really excited about it and have been trying to learn it. And that's all we're doing. We're still learning. So we're here to share what we're learning and what we're trying to practice. But the first concept that we want to learn in nonviolent communication, we're going to do through an exercise. And I'm really hoping that all of you are going to participate wholeheartedly because this depends on participation from all of you. Okay. So here's the scenario.
Would it be, Shalika, before we go there, would it be all right if we get input from everyone about sometimes what they have seen as difficulty in communicating with adults? or parents, or uncles, or aunts, or cousins, or whoever. Maybe you can just throw it in the chat box. Why is it hard to communicate with adults?
Teachers.
Teachers, maybe? There's a question. What do you guys think? By the way, feel free to say anything you like. We're not going to record the chat. We're only recording what people say. So what you put in chat is not being stored for history. Nobody knows what you're going to say for the future. Anyone waiting for some input? Why is it hard to communicate with adults? Okay, that's a good one. They're older, so I feel more nervous. Very nice. Thank you. You have to obey them because they're older than us. Very nice, because they might not understand you. Okay, awesome. What else? Because certain things they cannot relate with us. Very true. My boys call me, they say, you got you dad, you're just like you have dad jokes and nobody likes it. I don't, we don't like it, and you just keep saying dad jokes. So we cannot, I cannot relate to my kids. They keep saying that to me. You have to do what they say. Very good. Yeah. They think they're older and have experience, are part of life already, and they know better, but they may not have as nuanced of a situation. Fantastic. Thank you for whoever shared that. You're not allowed to talk back to them. Because they can sometimes misunderstand and argue with you. What? Misunderstand? Oh, okay. Because they sometimes argue with you. Okay, thank you. Wonderful.
So I'm sure you're all aware of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, right? Who here does not know Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Okay, so our boys, we have two boys, Ishan and you might know them. They are 14 and 11. So one day we decided, let's watch a movie, And I was always on their case. Do any of you have adults in your life that are on your case for like, why are you reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Like, this is just a wimpy kid
Hey,
that's always
there you go.
complaining.
Beyonce got one. There you go. Thank you.
Like, this is a kid that's always complaining. You don't learn any grammar. You don't learn any like, language skills. Why are you reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Have you ever heard that? Yeah. So that was what I used to tell my boys, like, why are you reading? Like, can't you read something, even if it's Harry Potter? At least it's written by an author that like knows some English? And then we were on a vacation, a family vacation in December, and we were like, okay, which movie should we watch? And finally we decided, all right, you know what? Let's watch, because they showed me a preview of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul. Have you seen The Long Haul? Who here has seen The Long Haul? It's fantastic. So we're like, all right, let's watch it. And I fell in love with that movie, And there was one sentence in that movie that really hit me. What's his name? What's the main character? Greg, someone?
No.
Greg Heffley.
Greg Heffley. Greg Heffley. So Greg Heffley says, Mom, you just
Don't know how
don't
hard
understand.
it is.
Yeah, Mom, you just don't know how hard it is to be a kid my age. And I was like, wow, I never thought of that. It's not easy to maneuver everything that you guys maneuver with, you know, being in school and having a sadhana practice, right? Like being devotees in an environment that maybe not so friendly to that, or managing your teen years and managing your, changes in your body and what else? What else hard things?
Peer pressures and what people are liking and video games and stuff that everybody's doing, but we can't do because we're part of a devotee community. So many things, right? Pressures of
Or the complexities of being brought up by parents who didn't grow up in America, right? So you all have parents that grew up in a different culture. And now they're trying to raise a child in this culture. It's hard for their parent. But what to speak of you? It's hard for you, right? So I found that movie eye-opening. And I really like that sentence of um Mom, you just don't know how hard it is to be a kid my age. So anyway,
By the way, and then my wife said to all my kids, "You have 100% uh, permission to watch and read Diary of a Wimpy Kid." And I'm hitting my head and going, "Oh no."
all right, so let's move on to this exercise. It's called the homework date. Okay. Have you guys ever had any hard homework and you've not been able to do it? And you say, you know what, my friend, he's really good at algebra or pre-algebra or calculus. And I'm going to request my friend for some help and see if, you don't mind coming over. Has that ever happened where you like request a friend for help? Or maybe you're the one that helps somebody else. Maybe you've helped someone else with their homework. Yeah, every now and then. So this is the scenario. Um, you have a really hard homework and you request, let's say Vishnu does. Vishnu is one of your friends. I don't know if there's a Vishnu on this call. And you say, Vishnu, would you be willing to come over to my home and help me with my homework at 6 o'clock? And he says, yeah, sure. I'll stop by at 6. And he just lives in the neighborhood in the block. And so you're so excited because like finally, oh my God, I'm not gonna get, I'm not gonna be in the bad books of the teacher. I'm gonna have some help. And you're waiting, and it's 6 o'clock, and you're like, Vishnu will be coming any minute. And then it's 6:10, and you're like, Indians are usually late. Part of our culture. It's part of our genes. We're always late. No big deal, 6:15, then it's 6:20, then it's 6:30, it's 6:45. It's 6:45 and you haven't heard from Vishnu. Okay, there's not a call, no text, no nothing. So I want to know what you might be feeling. And I put an example in here. I might feel frustrated or irritated. And I might be thinking, he's so rude. Do you have another idea of what you might be feeling?
Feel free to unmute and say what you want to say. Like Dhruv, you've got your hand up? Yeah, you can see everyone. We can't hear you, Dhruv.
I still don't hear you.
Looks like you're Pari's brother. Maybe you can go to Pari's microphone. Maybe that works.
Ishan.
Yeah, I would be scared, Mataji, because if I don't get it in time, then I get a bad grade.
Yeah. So I would be scared because the timing of turning in this homework is important to me, and I don't want to get a bad grade. Thank you.
Vinita?
Hare Krishna. I would also be scared. I'd be like worried because then I'd be like, what happened to my friend? Why are they not responding? Like, did something happen to them? And like that, I would be thinking.
Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you. Dhruv, are you able to speak now?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so I would be like stressed out because I would be like, oh no, my homework won't be done and then I'm gonna get in trouble in school.
Stressed out. Yeah. Nice. Pari, you have your hand up?
I would be annoyed because like
Mhm.
I like if for example if like I was helping my friend too with their homework in the past, it'd be like, wait, like now they're not helping me because when I needed help, you don't show up, but when you need help, I do. It's like, is this like a one-sided friendship? Like, are you not,
Mm.
like caring about me?
I'm always giving and they're not giving back. Awesome. Vaidehi?
Krishna,
I would probably be confused because we both agreed on a set time. And then you don't show up and you're not answering anything. So
Daylight savings time. Who knows, huh? Mishti?
Hare Krishna. I would also feel like betrayed, cause
Betrayed.
yeah, cause depending on how serious the situation was, but like at least like you could have texted me, said something, but now like you're leaving me alone.
You're leaving me alone. Okay, anyone? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Radhika. You want to say something?
Yes, no, you go ahead. I was going to say the same thing.
Anyone have, maybe some positive feelings potentially? Any positive feelings that you could potentially have in this situation? Dhruva, you have your hand up because I only see fingers.
I would say like I would feel like more like independent. Like I would feel like, okay, now I will work on my own. So I'll feel like more proud of my work.
Okay. Sense of responsibility. Yeah. Autonomy, maybe. And when you say independent, maybe feelings of autonomy. Okay, good. Anyone else? Any other positive feelings you might feel as a result of your friend not showing up?
Would anyone feel any relief? I don't have to work on calculus tonight. No, you're all responsible kids. You're like, no relief. We want to turn in our homework on time. Well, I would probably feel relief. I'd be like, screw this. I don't want to work on my homework tonight. I was looking at.
Yeah, go ahead, Shilling.
I just want to have an evening of fun.
Yeah.
So
maybe another one could be, I would feel a little joy because mom and dad were gonna take me out for ice cream, and now I was not gonna go because my friend was coming. Now my friend's not come. Yay! I'm gonna go get some ice cream. Maybe there's relief, or not just relief, it's joy because I can go do that instead. And if any of you chant 16 rounds, usually you will have 16 rounds, you'll have a few rounds left. And so it's like, okay, my friend's not coming, great, I get to finish my rounds. So a sense of relief, sense of happiness.
okay, so I'm gonna note that down as well. So we said there could be joy or relief. Can have an evening to get ice cream or play instead of working. Yeah. So I want to see if you would be willing, all of you, to make some observation about what you see here. You see this whole range of feelings. Yeah. Is there anything you're observing from looking at this table?
Vaidehi? By the way, if you can use the raise hand feature on Zoom, it's a little easier for us to see who has raised their hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think most of these are negative emotions or feelings.
Yeah. Yeah, so many of them are negative emotions. So it seems like we resort to negative emotions especially when we're looking forward to something happening, an expectation of somebody's coming over, and it doesn't happen. Thank you.
Beyonto?
Maybe like even if a bad thing happens, like your friend is not coming, like I guess good feelings or good things can happen, even if it's like a little.
So there's a possibility of there being some positive emotions, even though a situation happened that was not exactly so favorable. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You know, even just a comment on that, even the worst thing possible when that happens, sometimes there can also be positive feelings. I'll give you an example. When someone who's been suffering for a long time finally leaves their body, they die. Um, a lot of times the family members feel relief because, okay, yeah, they die, they feel some grief and all that, but they also feel relief. Finally, they don't have to continue to suffer. Or they feel relief that, or even happiness that, oh man, I don't have to deal with cleaning their body anymore because they're now gone, right? Or sometimes people feel joy because now they get the inheritance, they get the money when after somebody's passed away. So there's range of emotions even for the worst thing that can happen.
And Maitri and Ethereal?
Also like a lot of these are based on assumptions. So like we're just like, because our feelings are a lot of them are based on assumptions and we really don't know what actually happened to our friend.
Fantastic.
Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, Mishti.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you. So we had some friends just make some observations around how in the same exact situation there's this range of emotions, right? Most negative, but then there's some positive too. So nothing has changed in terms of the situation. The friend has still not shown up, and it's still 6:45. But we could be feeling irritated and frustrated if we're thinking they're so rude, this relationship is so one-sided, or we could be feeling worried, oh my God, is everything okay with my friend? Or all the way to joy and relief. I don't have to work on my homework today. I can go get ice cream with mom and dad like we were planning. So notice how it's not so much the situation that determines our feelings. It is something we call in nonviolent communication my needs. So here's a chart. If there's nothing else you remember from today, I'd like you to remember this chart. This is the basis of the entire philosophy of nonviolent communication. I flourish when I nourish the needs beneath my feelings. So if I'm feeling frustrated and annoyed, I may have a need for honesty. I'd like my friend to honestly let me know if they were not planning to come. But if I'm feeling joy and some relief over on this side where I'm pointing, where the tree is green, because the needs are being met and positive feelings are being generated, it's meeting my need for joy or celebration or play. Yeah. Instead of doing my homework, I'm playing soccer out in the yard. Or I'm celebrating and getting some ice cream with mom and dad instead of doing my homework. So if that was my need, then it generates joy. But if honesty in the relationship was my need, I'm feeling frustrated that my friend did not show up till 6:45. So our feelings have to do with our needs, not with what the other person does. This is the first step in liberating people from the burden of having to care for our needs and blaming others when we're experiencing negative emotions. So let's go back to our chart. Let's see if we can make some guesses. Oops. If I am feeling irritated, frustrated, and annoyed, and I'm thinking this person is so rude, what need do I have? And I know you don't have the need chart in front of you, but You can just guess. Dhruv.
I need more empathy towards me. Like I don't know my homework. Like I don't know how to solve my homework. So I need I need some help.
Thank you. Empathy. I need some understanding. Thank you. If I am worried because I'm thinking, what happened to my friend? What need is coming up for me? Atharv?
I'd probably need an explanation.
Yeah. Communication, maybe safety for my friend. If I'm feeling joy, I don't have to work on math on a Sunday evening. I can go get some ice cream. What need is alive for me? Barry?
Like maybe just like you want to like go out and do something fun, like you
Fun.
like enjoy.
Enjoyment, recreation, very important needs. I'm not interested in my homework right now. What's up for me is fun. So actually, somebody doesn't show up till 6:45, I'm feeling joy. So I want to ask you now, how can applying this understanding that my needs, my feelings come from my needs, not from what another person does, how can that understanding support you in relationships? Vaidehi.
You realize that there's something that's not one of your needs is not being met. So with the other person in the relationship, you can talk about why it's not being met and what to do.
Thank you. So instead of telling my friend, you're such a loser, you didn't even call me till 6:45. Instead of, and I felt so upset. Instead of pointing the finger at someone else, I can say, man, I really have a need for communication. And when you didn't show up till 6:45, I was so confused, frustrated, and annoyed. See how I'm taking responsibility for my annoyance because of my need for communication rather than saying, you're such a loser. There were some other hands that were up.
Gavani had a hand up.
Ishan.
Yeah. So Mataji, like, if you just like pause for a moment and like write down your emotions and just think for a minute, you can like see the bigger picture, and that might help you control your emotions and not play the blame game, and instead take responsibility for what's happening.
You're teaching the next session, okay? Yeah. So taking responsibility for our experience in life instead of blaming others or making them responsible for meeting our needs. So now that I recognize that, I have a need for communication, um, I can find other ways of getting my need met. It doesn't have to be in this relationship with this person because you know what? You can't make an apple an orange. An apple will always be an orange, right? Have you ever tried to make an apple an orange and been successful? Maybe this friend, Vishnu, communication is not his thing. So you can't make an apple an orange. But you can take responsibility for your need for communication and find other ways to get your need met. Maybe um, set some strategies like I will send you a poll and all you have to do is click yes, or I will, have another friend meet my need for communication and so forth. Any discussion at this point? Questions, thoughts?
based on nonviolent communication, if I say, for example, I am angry, or no, if I say, you made me angry because you did not come at 6 o'clock, like we talked about, is that an accurate statement? Or is that a nonviolent statement? Is that an empathic statement? You made me angry because you didn't come at 6 p.m. Thoughts? Vinita?
I mean, I guess that statement it's only focusing on you, like yourself, how that person affected you instead of thinking of whatever the other person was going through that made them late.
Okay. It's ignoring the fact that they have something going on. What else might be not so accurate with that statement? Okay, looks like Atharv has his hand up.
Well, I'd probably like if someone said that to me, I'd probably be hurt because what if I was going through something and they just said that they got
You
angry at
made
me.
me angry. Who are they? Okay, Navya, go ahead.
It wouldn't be accurate because no one can really make you angry. You can choose what you decide to feel like because there can also be positive emotions in there, like the chart.
Exactly. So when we say you made me angry, who has a responsibility for my emotion? Who we're giving the responsibility for my emotion? The other person. We're telling them you made me angry. But from this nonviolent communication model, we're understanding that my feeling of anger comes from what? The other person or something else? Yeah, Pari?
Your needs.
From our needs, exactly. That's the foundational, yeah.
So next time you're feeling sad, depressed, embarrassed, you see the side of the tree that doesn't have any leaves, check in and see what needs are not being met. Maybe you have a need for connection. And the next time you're feeling friendly, warm, blissful, these feelings when needs are being met, where the tree's green, check in. I'm really feeling understood right now. And not only does this apply to us, we also want to apply this to others, right? So let's say mom's screaming at you, like, can't you read anything else except Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Like, what are you learning? Like, this is just this complaining kid that sits around all day long and just complains about everything. So let's say mom's screaming and shouting. What needs does mom have?
What feelings maybe first, and then what needs?
Oh, yeah. So what feelings is mom having? You're going to have to help me, Prabhu, with the hands. I can't.
Sure. Ishan? Oh, wait. Yeah, go ahead, Ishan. Yeah.
Expirated because they've read Diary of a Wimpy Kid a lot of times and they should read something else for once.
What was the feeling you said? I missed it.
Exasperated.
Exasperated. Okay, very good. Vaidehi writes confused. Very good. Avani?
They could kind of be feeling kind of hopeless, like if my kid keeps on reading this book, what are they going to learn from it?
Hopeless and worried, concerned. It sounds like you're saying. Yeah, very good. Yeah, that's good. And then disappointed, annoyed, tense. So wow, range of feelings that she might be feeling, even though she's speaking in a loud voice. Yeah, all of those could be true. Then take a guess at what needs are behind those feelings that you just noted. What needs could your mom or the mother could be feeling? exasperated. We said exasperated, confused, annoyed, tense, worried, concerned, disappointed. What could be the needs behind them for her? Bayont?
Uh, like she maybe wants her kid to read a book that'll like teach them about stuff.
Learning. Yeah, she has a need for learning for her child.
Sorry?
Like protection or safety, because like she doesn't want like her child to be reading like something that is like not good for them, or like something that'll give them a bad influence.
Thank you. Bang on.
I missed it, Sharika. What was it?
Protection or safety.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is an NVC, nonviolent communication core commitment. We always assume innocence. I'm going to request a voice we haven't heard yet. Karina, will you read what it says on this slide?
Hare Krishna. Even when others' actions or words make no sense to me or frighten me, I want to assume a needs-based human intention behind them. If I find myself attributing ulterior motives or analyzing others' actions, I want to seek support to ground myself in the clarity that every human action is an attempt to meet needs no different from my own. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So we always assume innocence. Bir Krishna Maharaj says, even Ravana, as evil as his strategies were, was trying to meet needs. What needs do you think Ravana had? In kidnapping Sita, in trying to get control of the whole world, what needs was Ravana trying to meet? You're muted, Prabhu. If you're saying something, you're muted.
Yeah, I said Karina and then Vinita.
I think he was trying to make Sita his own and destroy Rama, like as in like make him
So
feel inferior to.
oops, you cut out a little. I'm hearing inclusion, belonging. Yeah, like, okay, thank you. Pari?
You wanted like power.
Power is a very basic need.
Ownership. Like.
Yeah. So we don't agree. Sorry?
Vinita had a hand up.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say already got typed in the chat. I was gonna say like enjoyment.
Yeah.
Enjoyment. He wanted to control the three worlds to enjoy it. Yeah.
Love, connection. He had really bad strategies. We're not going to agree with his strategies. But even an evil person like Ravan was trying to meet needs. When we can see with that lens, we can see with empathy. So let's bring this to life. Okay? We're going to do a role play. 4 options to respond. So what I need is some scenarios, okay? Anyone here have a situation where some adult in your life has an issue with the amount of media time you have in your life, the amount of like devices or whatever, video gaming? So I want you don't have to say who says this, okay? I just want, I want a juicy sentence, throw something at me. Like, what do you hear about media time? You're gonna have to help me with the.
Yeah, Beyonto has his hand.
Maybe like you don't get enough sleep at night and they start blaming it on like you just watching stuff late at night and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe it's a sentence about you're not getting enough sleep. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody have something else juicy?
Ishan's got his hand up. Go ahead, Ishan.
You're watching too much devices, your eyes are gonna be damaged.
Okay.
Dhruv.
Your brain is going to be corrupted.
Sounds like we've heard some of those things, huh? Okay,
and said some of those things.
And said some of those things. Karina, I think. Oh,
I was going to say what I said.
Oh, really? The brain corrupted thing, huh? All right, cool.
All right, so we have some shared reality here. We've all like either said it or heard it, you know.
Another one in chat is being stressed out because you are on your phone all the time, so you can't get work done.
Okay, sounds great. So I want one volunteer, okay? One volunteer who's going to be mom or dad, okay? Somebody who can play mom or dad that's going to say these things to me, and I am the child, okay? So let's say I'm Sri Radhika. You're going to call me by my name, Sri Radhika, and I'm 13. Okay, so who wants to play my mom or dad? And we're going to demonstrate some of this. You know, Dhruv, I was having difficulty hearing you. So if you unmute, can you unmute yourself? Because I'm not sure if your sound is not working so well. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Okay, I think we can hear you fine now. Okay, so Dhruv is going to be my partner in this role play.
Dhruv, are you good at being a really feisty parent?
Yes.
All right, go for it, buddy.
Okay, all right. So here's what we're going to do, Dhruv. Okay, I'm your 13-year-old daughter. My name is Sri Radhika. And I am going to demonstrate 4 options to respond. And I really wanted this to be an animation on the slide, but it's all appearing all at once. So ignore the rest of the 3. We're going into the first chair, which is blame others. Okay. And
I'm going to spotlight everyone on those two. Sorry, the 2 of you.
And something I'm going to share with you is a little toy. What is this? Just unmute yourself and say, what is this?
Giraffe.
Giraffe.
A giraffe. Okay. So did you know that of all land animals, a giraffe has the largest heart of all? And that's because it has this really long neck and it needs to pump blood up this really long neck in order for the blood to reach its brain. So therefore, Krishna has given the giraffe such a big heart. So in nonviolent communication, we use the giraffe as a metaphor, an analogy, like how Prabhupada uses so many analogies. The giraffe is our NVC guy, okay? The giraffe speaks in NVC. And then, anybody can tell what animal this is?
Is it a dog?
No.
A wolf or a fox?
Coyote?
Hyena?
You're getting close.
Is it a hyena? Is it an anteater?
No.
It starts with J and rhymes with L. Jackal. There you go.
This is a jackal. And the jackal, have you ever heard a jackal howl?
Yes.
How does it sound?
Weird.
Eerie, Halloweeny, right? It's like really spooky. So the jackal's talk is a metaphor for violent communication. Okay. So there's the giraffe, which is our NVC guy, and there's the jackal, which is our violent guy. Okay. So in our first first chair, okay? I'm sitting on the blame you chair. And I thought it was Dhruv who was going to be
Yeah,
my.
Dhruv is sitting with his sister, so the
Oh, he
microphone is
moved
better.
his
I think his
sister.
iPad died, so he had to come here.
Okay. So Dhruv is going to be my dad, and I am wearing these jackal ears facing out. Okay. So when I wear jackal ears facing out, then all the blame comes out. Okay. So give me something juicy, Dhruv, about my media time.
Oh my, stop. You need to stop going on your iPad all day. This is unacceptable. You need to stop this. Your mind is gonna go crazy, and and then in the future you're gonna end up on the streets.
And what about you? You're on your phone like all the time. Like the amount of WhatsApp messages and groups that you're part of, these devotee groups, like dad, you are like constantly. I even come in the night to your room and you're on your phone, dad. Like, how can you say this to me? Okay, so that's jackal ears facing out. Somebody comes at you with blame. You give it right back to them, man. You give it good. You give a juicy one back. All right. Well, now I'm going to turn my jackal in. These are jackal ears facing in to me. And I'm going to move to the second chair. And the second chair is the blame me chair. Okay. So Dhruv, bring it on again. Give me something different, but related to devices. You've heard it all. You can bring on another good, juicy criticism. Go for it.
I am sick of this. Whenever I go into your room, you are always on it. You try to hide it and like try to keep it away whenever I'm coming, but I see it. And the things you're on are unacceptable and they're very bad for you. You need to stop.
Oh my God, I'm such a bad kid. I should have never been born. I mean, like, I don't even know what I'm doing in my life. I'm always getting into trouble. Like, I don't know what to do. My teachers hate me. My parents hate me. I hate myself. So that's jackal ears facing in. It's blame me. And we cannot be empathic with anybody else if we can't be empathic with ourselves. If we're not going to be kind to ourselves, how can we be kind to anybody else? So let's get this jackal off. What do you say? Let's move to the third chair. Okay? The third chair is the giraffe with the ears facing in. Empathy for myself. So this is the last one. Okay, you're not going to do the criticism again, Dhruv, so make it good. I want one more time for you to criticize me regarding my media time.
This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. You need to stop right now. You are gonna be in your room for the rest of your life if you don't get off right now. It's very bad for you. You just need to stop.
So when I sit with these giraffe ears facing in, yeah, then I sit in empathy and kindness with myself. I check in to my feelings and needs in that tree. Man, I'm feeling so disheartened. I have such a need for understanding. Does dad even know what it's like to be a kid in the 21st century? Like, I have such a need for inclusion and belonging. All my friends are doing it. I don't want to be the weirdo that doesn't play video games. I'm not going to have any friends. I want connection. This is the way we all stay in touch. We play games together with each other. I have such a longing for respect. You know, yeah, I may be 13, but by golly, I deserve some respect. yeah, I'm just really, really feeling some tingling in my legs, and my hands are getting cold and sweaty. My palms are sweaty, and man, I really wish I could get some empathy for my parents. I have some boredom. Like, I want some excitement, and video games are exciting. They bring some joy into my life. So that's the giraffe ears facing in. And only when we have given ourselves some giraffe empathy can we turn our giraffe ears out and sit in empathy with Dad. Dad has some needs too. So I want you to help me. What is Dad feeling, and what is Dad needing when he says these things to me at 13 years of age? Mishti and Ethereal.
Dad is trying to make sure like he's responsible for like helping his kids grow up in like in the right way. So like providing them with like good values is like his responsibility. So like that's what he's trying to do and fulfill that need.
The giraffe says Dad has a need for responsibility, for raising a human being that is responsible, independent in this world. Dad just wants to make sure he's doing his responsibility well. Thank you.
And his need is not being met. And so, he's perceiving his need not being met. And so Dad is feeling upset. Yeah.
Thank you. What else? I'm not going to let you go. Somebody's going to have to say something. What other needs are coming up for Dad? We see in the chat, Dad is feeling scared because he's worried about the future of the child, right? So again, some needs around responsibility, independence, health. Do you think Dad has any needs around health when he's concerned about me being on video games for so long? Could you read, Prabhu, from the chat?
Yeah, they're scared for the child. But yeah, that's it in the chat. I was going to throw one more out there. What do you think about Dad's feeling angry because he has a need for acceptance and belonging in the devotee community, and he fears judgment from other devotees seeing my child playing video games? That might be triggering my dad.
So just like I have a need for inclusion and belonging, and I want to play video games because I want to belong in my group of friends, my dad also has a need for inclusion and belonging and doesn't want to be judged in his group of friends. What kind of a parent are you? Your kids sit on media all day long. He's scared. He's just a human being. And actually, I got a direct message in the chat. Dad doesn't want you to be worse than all his friends' kids, right? This whole inclusion and belonging. Thank you. So this is the skill that we're learning. We're learning the giraffe art of converting everything into a feeling and a need. He just wants to meet a need. Yeah. And if we can connect on this level, yeah, then we can have a very different conversation. So I'm going to again request Dhruv to play with me. So now that I got some help from my friends, the fellow giraffes, now I'm ready to have a giraffe dialogue with Dad. So Dad, you know, when I hear you tell me, ask me why I'm sitting on video games for so long, are you really feeling concerned for my health?
I feel more concerned that my friends will like feel as me as an unaccepted father. Like I don't take care of my children, and I just want the best for you.
Yeah, I'm really hearing, Dad, how much you just want, health and well-being, and you want the best for me. You want to raise me in the best way. And you're really concerned about what other people think of you and what other people think of me. You want us to belong. You want community and connection for our family. Is that right, Dad?
Yeah, I just want all of us to be together for once and enjoy as you stay young.
So there's something about when I'm on my video game and I'm in my room, we're not together as a family. And you're really longing for like our family to have more connection time.
Yeah.
Notice how Dad's energy has settled. Did you notice he sat back on his chair? He kind of like his whole body language, his body relaxed. This is what happens when somebody gets a giraffe empathy. They relax. The body relaxes. So this is a superpower. Do you all want to be super boys and super girls? This is superpower. If you can learn to empathize, you can be super men and women. So I'm going to pause there and open it up for questions, discussion, comments. This doesn't work. It can't work. Bring it on.
Shubhalas Prabhu, you wanted to end the recording at some point?
Yeah, if anyone has a question or a practical situation where they want to, get guidance from Prabhuji Mataji, and feel free. I'll pause the recording now so that you all feel more comfortable. Okay, so you can raise your hand in the next 15 minutes or so. We can do more like practical question